What do you think are some of the ways you might define the word space?
I feel like space could be, I don't know, space can be like a lot of things. Like, space can be like a physical thing in terms of this like emptiness and like what you fill it with, but also space can just mean like, yeah, I feel like space is just emptiness, like in any sense of the word. It's like emptiness on like an emotional level where you just broke up and it's like, I need some space, like I need some emptiness around me. Your space can be like some emptiness, like there's nothing here, and like that's just made out of potential, and like we can put whatever we want into it, like a cup or like a vessel or whatever. For the most part, I feel like that's what space is for me, like just like potential or like emptiness, like void.
I mean, space can be defined by, like, for example, a border, which is a pretty tricky thing because somebody gets to say what that border is, for example, and like when you lay a border on something, you're not just creating a vacuum. Like I said, like space is only really indicated by what's filled inside of it. Mm-hmm. So you're defining your space by not necessarily the border of that space and like the actual shape of it, but by what's inside of it and what's allowed inside and out. Mm-hmm. And sometimes especially by what's outside of that space rather than what's inside of it.
Yeah, what's excluded.
Yeah, like what cannot be in that space.
How would you describe the relationship between space and the cops?
The cops are about dominating and projecting domination onto space. And that, like, the cool thing about space is it's like, it's always going to be empty to some degree. Like, you can't fill it up entirely in its entirety, like, no matter, like unless you go to, like, ridiculous lengths of, like, literally covering everything in concrete, there will always be space.
Like, the end message was never Occupy Wall Street. It was always like occupy everything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then it somehow changed once people started stepping back and getting really frustrated, and it turned into like Occupy Wall Street as this meme. Mm-hmm. Instead of like take this issue upon yourselves in your own communities and like take space, take space, take space. Mm-hmm. It was just like take, and not just take space, but like take your own space. It is already like one thing that I wrote a while ago, maybe in December, that was distributed in, like, anonymously in a flyer, was, it's already yours. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's already yours. You use it. Like, if we're going by, like, proper, like, our conceptions of property, like, you use this space, and, like, you, the collective you, and the individual you, so it's yours, mm-hmm. right? And, like, the only thing that's standing in the way is, like, this very controlling body, which is the state, who wants to control how you use it, when you use it, and say that you're not the legitimate owner of your space.
I don't know, taking the streets is like, okay. I mean, I feel like there are better things to do than take the streets per se. It's like super empowering for like the people involved and super inspiring for the people who see it. But like on a logistical level, like it's mostly spectacle, it's like mostly show. And I mean, like I like it, I think it's fucking fun and to run around and like be in the street, and it's like destroying this like dichotomy of like streets are for this, sidewalks are for this, and like all these like built up boundaries that we're socialized to have.